Understanding growth of informal economy in India. The rise of the informal economy in India, a growing concern. 1. Introduction. The informal economy has been a significant sector in India for decades, accounting for a substantial portion of the country's GDP. However, its growth has been on an upward trajectory in recent years, raising concerns among policymakers and economists. 2. Defining the informal economy. The informal economy refers to economic activities that are not registered or regulated by government authorities, including small-scale enterprises, self-employed individuals, and those engaged in various forms of unorganized labor. 3. Historical context. India's informal economy has its roots in the country's colonial past, where many economic activities were not officially recognized or taxed. 4. Post-independence era. After gaining independence in 1947, India's government implemented policies aimed at formalizing the economy and promoting industrialization. However, these efforts failed to fully incorporate the informal sector into the mainstream economy. 5. Global context. The rise of globalization and liberalization has led to an increase in informal economic activities worldwide, as many countries struggle with issues like corruption, tax evasion, and regulatory hurdles. 6. India's economic reforms. In 1991, India launched a series of economic reforms aimed at liberalizing trade and promoting private sector growth. While these reforms have been successful in some areas, they have also led to an increase in informal economic activities. 7. Factors contributing to growth. Several factors contribute to the growth of the informal economy in India, including lack of job opportunities, inadequate social protection, and a complex regulatory environment. 8. Demographic factors. India's large and growing population, particularly the youth demographic, is driving the expansion of the informal economy. 9. Rural-urban migration. Rapid urbanization has led to an influx of migrants into cities, many of whom join the informal workforce due to limited job opportunities in their home villages. 10. Lack of formal education and skills. Limited access to formal education and vocational training leaves many Indians without the necessary skills to secure employment in the formal sector. 11. Entrepreneurial spirit. Many Indians are driven by an entrepreneurial spirit, leading them to start informal businesses that can be more flexible and lucrative than traditional employment. 12. Informal entrepreneurship. Informal entrepreneurship is on the rise in India, with many individuals starting small-scale enterprises or freelancing activities to supplement their income. 13. Women's participation. Women are increasingly participating in the informal economy, often as entrepreneurs or self-employed workers in industries like beauty services and handicrafts. 14. Rural economy. The rural economy remains a significant contributor to India's informal sector, with many farmers and agricultural laborers operating outside of formal regulatory frameworks. 15. Informal sector in cities. Urban centers are also hubs for informal economic activities, including street vending, waste collection, and domestic work. 16. Health and safety concerns. The lack of regulation and oversight in the informal economy has raised health and safety concerns, particularly in industries like construction and manufacturing. 17. Environmental impact. Informal economic activities often have a significant environmental impact, including pollution, waste generation, and resource depletion. 18. Social security challenges. The absence of formal social security mechanisms leaves workers in the informal sector vulnerable to poverty, illness, and old age. 19. Taxes and subsidies. Governments struggle to tax informal economic activities, leading to revenue losses and a widened budget deficit. 20. Informal economy's contribution to GDP. Estimates suggest that the informal economy contributes around 50% of India's GDP, although some estimates range as high as 80%. 21. Policy responses. Various policy initiatives have been implemented to formalize the economy and reduce the informal sector, including tax reforms, regulatory changes, and skill development programs. 22. Challenges in formalization. Efforts to formalize the economy face significant challenges, including resistance from entrenched interests, inadequate infrastructure, and a lack of institutional capacity. 23. Impact on poverty alleviation. The growth of the informal economy has both positive and negative effects on poverty alleviation. While it provides income opportunities for many, it also perpetuates poverty and inequality. 24. Inequality and social exclusion. The informal economy contributes to social exclusion and inequality, as those operating outside formal regulatory frameworks often lack access to basic services like healthcare and education. 25. Urbanization and informal economy. Rapid urbanization has led to an increase in informal economic activities, with cities struggling to provide adequate infrastructure and services. 26. Sustainable urban planning. Urban planning strategies are being re-evaluated to accommodate the growth of the informal economy and promote more sustainable and inclusive development models. 27. Role of technology. The digital revolution is transforming the informal economy, with many entrepreneurs leveraging technology to access new markets, customers, and services. 28. Digital payments and financial inclusion. Digital payments are increasing financial inclusion for workers in the informal sector, allowing them to access basic financial services like savings accounts and loans. 29. Way forward. Addressing the growth of the informal economy requires a comprehensive policy approach that incorporates multiple sectors, including social security, education, and urban planning. Thanks for watching.